feel today? Ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! And don't do that! And don't do that!
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready? And don't do that. And don't do that.
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how like we the Miami Heat of football. Yap, 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 yap. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin straps.
It's embarrassing.
Yap, 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 yap.
Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from them.
He's a man. They can be hit just like us. He's a man.
You already make the big money.
He's a man.
Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there.
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like.
Oh, my bad, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world.
What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready? And don't do that. And don't do that. It's a wrap. Game over.
All right, hey, game's not over. It's just getting started right here on the lunch break. Powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. It is Winning Wednesday, and man, if you are not in the Lunch Break Weekly Keeping Up with the Joneses Bracket Challenge, you have missed out on a chance to win $500 cash. And man, that thing is flowing. Right now, the standings, if it ended today, and it doesn't, thank goodness for some people, David Williams would win the prize. He's in first place with 54 points, still has a chance to hit 178. He's got 40 of them right. And again, David Williams, wherever you are, you're leading the pack right now. But he's got Maryland as his pick to win the championship. So if Maryland stumbles, oh, that'll do it for him. That bracket is busted. Right behind that, we've got Amber Shaw. She's got 51 points. U of H is her pick. Tied for second with Amber. Delano Burton on two of his three picks. He's got 51, and he's got the Gators in both of them. Those brackets will be busted like crazy if Florida were to lose. Real quick, let me take my hat off to Florida. Thank you for sending UConn home. We will not have a repeat champion this year. UConn has won the last two in a row. They lost by 1 to University of Florida. And I tell you what, the head coach of UConn, trash. Bro, I'm sorry, I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, he's a competitor. He's just fiery. He's gritty. He's trash. He's a poor sport. And I've always said, money does not fix your problems. It typically amplifies them. And the higher he's gotten up the ranks, the more money he's making, dude is trash. I'm so glad. And as much as I hate the head coach of the Lakers, I'm so glad they chose him over Hurley, and that Hurley is at home trying to figure out his life. Because, bruh, his display walking off the court and saying, I hope they don't F you like they F'd us, Baylor. I hope they don't F you like they... You're a head coach of a major college basketball program, and you can't carry yourself any better than that. And oh yeah, this is not the first time, the second time, or the third time. This is just another time where this guy has shown poor sportsmanship and no class. So listen, at me, block me, do whatever you want to do. Mr. Hurley, head coach of the UConn Huskies, trash. Poor sports trash. That's what he is. The governor came to Houston for the Final Four and said that Houston was a dirty city, and it was an ugly city because it had graffiti and all that over it. Bro, you got your own problems to worry about because you got a dirty, ugly head coach over your major university. So chew on that, governor. All right, let's keep it rolling. Okay, so Delano is tied for second with Amber. Then you drop down to fifth, and it's a bunch of folks. A lot of folks still have a chance to win this thing. You got Alexis, she's in there. Alice McGaffey, Brian Rogers, what's up, Big B? Bubby! And then you've got CJ, you got Jen A. Tidwell. All right, look at her coming up at number 5. The coach, Johnny Cole, is tied at number 5, and then Milo Thomas has a bracket tied at number 5. All of them have 50 wins. Again, they're 4 off the lead. You got to be a number 1. There's not like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like we do in football. Still with a chance to get it in. The people with 49 points, myself, Black Girl Magic is in that bracket, is in that with, all 3 of her brackets. CD, Calvin Daniels, Chi-Town is in there on all 3 of his brackets. Clarence Ahmad is in there with 49 points. Let's see. Miss Pearl is in there with 49 points. Renee Mahaffey in there with 49 points. Stephanie Bisco, all 3 of her brackets are in there with 49 points. So we'll cut off there. All right, so the Sweet 16 is what's up next. I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, we'll tell you about what's going to happen in the Sweet 16 starting tomorrow right here on the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Mike Wright back here on the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. I'm hitting it fast and hard today. All right, Sweet 16 on the men's side gets started tomorrow. Not a whole lot of Cinderellas. This year. I guess Arkansas. Calipari's Arkansas Razorbacks are probably the biggest Cinderella left in it. But tomorrow, starting at 6 p.m. Central, 6:09, you got Alabama and BYU. That's going to be a good game. Let me just tell you something. BYU can play. And they've got older, more mature players because they go and do that 2-year Mormon mission, and then they come back, and they're older than a lot of the kids in the tournament. BYU can play. They got a big in the middle. Brother can ball, and they can hit the 3. So it's going to be a very interesting matchup. Alabama's a 5.5-point favorite in that one. Again, I know the brackets are already set, but that would be an upset pick for me. And then Maryland, coming off of their surprise win where the big man took the Euro step. Nah, he was within the rules. He was within the rules and banked it off the glass for the win. Maryland going to try and knock down the number 1 seed, Florida, tomorrow at 6:39. Florida's a 6-point favorite. I'm going to stick with Florida in that one. Then you got one that back in the day would have been very interesting. Not so much now. At 8:39, you've got number 1 Duke taking on number 4 seed Arizona. A lot of history in that matchup right there. Duke is a big favorite, 9.5 points. I'm going to stick with Duke on that one. And then, again, the only game that I consider a Cinderella story, at 9:09, you've got Texas Tech hosting Arkansas, 5.5. Again, another area where an upset could happen. Game where an upset can happen. So, again, tomorrow, BYU, Alabama, Maryland, Florida, Arizona, Duke, and Arkansas, Texas Tech. Then on Friday, Sweet 16. Then on Friday, Sweet 16 on the men's side, you've got Michigan State, number 2 seed, taking on Ole Miss. I'll leave that alone for a moment. Then you've got number 2 Tennessee taking on number 3 Kentucky. Number 1 Auburn versus number 5 Michigan. Michigan had a player that entered into the portal, and they're still balling. I'm not knocking it. Hear me when I say I love the portal. I love NIL. I'm not one of those old dudes, it's ruining college basketball. It will never be the same. The student athletes, they need to regulate it. Now, regulate them coaches moving. Regulate Sean Miller from going from Xavier to Texas, and then Rick Pitino's son going from New Mexico to Xavier. Let's do that. Regulate that, and then we'll get to the players. How about that? But Michigan and Auburn at 8:39 on Friday, and then the U of H Cougs, number 1 seed, taking on number 4 Purdue. That'll be at 9:09 p.m. Let me run through these real quick. All right, the first game, Michigan State, Ole Miss. You remember the head coach of Ole Miss used to be the head coach of UT. Domestic violence situation. He got let go, and now he is the head coach at Mississippi. You know, I can't stand the head coach of Michigan State. Y'all been following me long enough. Tom Izzo is not my dude. Not my dude. I'm wanting, I guess, Mississippi to win that game. I guess. I don't care. If they both could lose, let's do that. Then number 2 Tennessee and number 3 Kentucky. I'm going with Tennessee. Tennessee is only a 4.5-point favorite, but I'm going with Tennessee in that one. And then you got number 1 Auburn and Michigan. Again, Michigan, different head coach. Dusty May, different head coach. Auburn has had times where they have not looked as dominant as they've looked. Hopefully this won't be one of them. They're a 9-point favorite. If I was a betting man, I would take Michigan in the points. I don't think Auburn's going to blow Michigan out by 9. I would take Michigan in the points. For those who don't know, you could lose the game, like Auburn could win the game, but if Michigan is 8 points or closer, you get paid. I would take Michigan in the points. A lot of points there. All right, and then U of H against Purdue. U of H 8-point favorite. I'm going to say the same thing. I don't know if U of H is going to blow Purdue out by 8. I mean, we're at Sweet 16. There are no flukes in the Sweet 16. So that's where I'm going with that one. Okay, let's do this. Give me one more break, and then I'm going to come back. We'll talk about the women, and then Keith Hennig, I know, it's football for you. I want to talk about some football. We'll do all that when we come back right after this on the lunch break.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. I'm AJ Jones. It's our Winning Wednesday. We are rolling through the March Madness tournament on the men and the women's side. Got people competing right now for $500 cash in the men's bracket. Keeping Up with the Joneses bracket challenge. So again, we're eventually going to get a women's bracket as well. $500 for one, $500 for the other. We just haven't been able to secure the sponsors as of yet. All right, let's talk about the women's Sweet 16 real quick. You got a very good game coming up on Friday at 1:30 Central. Number 2 Duke going to take on their intra-state rival and division rival, North Carolina. It's going to be a good game. I love what Carol Lawson is doing at Duke. I'm going to pick Duke in that one, but it's going to be a close one. And then at 4 o'clock, Maryland women are balling. They got to take on number 1 seed South Carolina. And I will tell you what, South Carolina, this is going to be a true test of if you have what it takes to win another championship. And we'll see if they can get it done. That one's at 4 o'clock Friday on ESPN. Number 3 LSU going to take on number 2 NC State. NC State has looked very good this year. LSU has not looked like LSU of old, but they're still there. They're still there. I'm going to give it to LSU on experience. Okay? All right, and then you got number 1 UCLA versus Ole Miss. And I got to shout out to Coach Yo down there at Mississippi. A lot of folks counted her out. A lot of folks was talking about her and how she goes about her business. She's only got her team into the Sweet 16 with a chance to knock off the number one. With a chance to knock off the number one. I'm calling Coach Yo with the upset. All right, let's jump over to Saturday, Sweet 16 for the women. Sweet 16 for the women. You've got number 2 led by Haley Van Leet against Notre Dame. I'm going Notre Dame in the upset. Number 1, Texas taking on number 5, Tennessee. Again, could be an upset. Texas balls, but they have a couple of games where they just don't quite look like themselves. I'm going to go with Texas in that one. And then UConn and Oklahoma. I'm going UConn, even though Oklahoma just got a huge notice that they got the number 1 recruit coming to Oklahoma. And then this is a game that's going to be very interesting. Number 1 USC, and that's Southern California, taking on number 5 Kansas State without Juju Watkins, who suffered a season-ending knee injury. And our thoughts and prayers are truly sincere thoughts and prayers, not that MAGA stuff, but sincere thoughts and prayers go out to Juju Watkins, her family. Now, my question is, can USC, I know they were playing on emotion the other night when Juju went down and they finished off the win, but can they do that for a full game without her? I think they got the horses to do it. I think they got the players to do it, but will they do it? That's a big question. I think it's wide open now. UCLA obviously is a favorite. South Carolina is obviously a favorite. But here are the teams that I think now have a legit shot because of the Watkins industry. UConn definitely has a legit shot. And Texas definitely has a legit shot to win a national champion on the women's side. So we'll see what happens there. All right, let me switch hats. Without taking a break, let me switch hats. On the NFL side, a couple of free agent signings. The New York City Giants, who play in New Jersey, have pulled Russell Wilson away from the Pittsburgh Steelers. He is on paper going to be the starter. They also signed Jameis Winston. They also still have Tommy DeVito. And they are probably going to take Shedeur Sanders in the first round of the upcoming NFL draft. I'll just say this. I'm not a fan of the Giants. They should have fired their head coach. We'll see. Are they going to let these quarterbacks play? Or are they going to try and, dumb it down for them like they had to do under Daniel Jones and Tommy DeVito last season, the season before last? You got to let these guys play. Now, that being said, I want to jump over to Pittsburgh real quick. I really believe that if the Steelers pull the trigger and lock Aaron Rodgers down, Mike Tomlin's going to have his first losing season of his career. The quarterback that will lead Mike Tomlin to his first losing season of his career is going to be that quarterback. Mr. Drama King himself. I'm just telling you. The guy, and if I'm wrong, I will admit that I'm wrong, but I believe that the first quarterback who will lead Mike Tomlin to his first losing season in his career will be Aaron Rodgers. I think that everything that people said about other quarterbacks, about why they weren't signed, Colin Kaepernick, some of the other ones, oh, too much baggage, too much. You don't want that much baggage and toxicity in the locker room. That's what you get with this guy. You can't deny that. I don't care if you love him. I don't care if you believe in his beliefs. As a player on an NFL team, he brings a lot of baggage into a locker room that can ill afford it. And Pittsburgh can ill afford it. So I don't know. I don't know if this is a general manager call. I don't know if this is an ownership call. I don't know who's making the call, but it's coming from within the house. And it's going to cause Mike Tomlin to have his first losing season. For all you Steelers fans who think that's going to be your ticket back to the deep run in the playoffs and the Super Bowl, it ain't going to happen. It ain't, not with this guy. It's not going to happen. He is not Tom Brady. He's not going to lead you all to the Super Bowl like Brady did the Buccaneers late in his career. This guy is just trouble. Can he still play? Some, but he's not the Aaron Rodgers of old. Has not been that guy since he left Green Bay. And oh yeah, by the way, he was slip sliding like that in Green Bay. So I'm just letting you know, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. All right. So anyway, that's that. The draft is coming up. We'll see. Stephon Diggs going to the Patriots. That's a good pick for the Patriots. You know, Drake May now has a legit number one. Hate that for the Texans. Texans have blown up their offensive line. Laramie Tunsil out. Matkins is out. I mean, they have really blown up that offensive line. And at first blush, I was like, man, what are they doing? And then I realized that offensive line wasn't as sturdy as it needed to be. Y'all had C.J. Stroud running for his life 90% of the time. So I'll be digging in to see what's going on with the draft and what that means for the offensive line for the Houston Texans as they try to repeat as a not one, not two, but three-time AFC South champs. So we'll see how that goes. Listen, let me get ready to wrap this up. Again, you got to tune in to the March Madness games. They are really cooking. I love it. On the Lunch Break Weekly Keeping Up with the Joneses Bracket Challenge, you got David Williams at number 1. You got Amber Shaw and Delano at number 2. And then you got a whole host of people within reach in what would be the third spot, but they're down at number 5. So 54 wins leads right now. Look how many wins you have and see who you got as your champion. You still got a chance to pull it out. So as always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I truly do love you. There's nothing you can do about it except tune in tomorrow for Chris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review. Also on Friday with the coach, Johnny Cole, and the HBCU Stroll. I'll be back, Lord say the same, on Wednesday. And until you then, you be blessed, y'all be safe, and we will talk to you soon.
When you walk out on that field today, ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! And let's go! And let's go!
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's hunt now! Let's hunt now! Let's go! Let's hunt! We ready! And let's go! And let's go!
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how like we the Miami Heat of football. Yap. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin straps.
It's embarrassing.
Yap.
Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from them.
He's a man. They can be hit just like us. He's a man.
You already make the big money.
He's a man.
Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there.
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like.
Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! We ready! And let's go! And let's go! It's a wrap. Game over.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.